Today we're making sweet crepes. Take 3/4 a cup of milk and add it into your blender. Add 3 tablespoons of melted butter and add that into your blender. Add a 1/2 cup of water to your blender. Take 2 large eggs and crack them and add them into your blender. Add 1 cup of all-purpose flour to your blender. Take a tablespoon and get white granulated sugar. Add 2½ tablespoons of granulated sugar into your blender. Take your vanilla extract and add 2 teaspoons of it into your blender. Get your favorite alcohol and you're going to add 2 tablespoons of that into your blender. Today I'm using Jack Daniel's honey whiskey, but you can use rum, Bacardi, anything you want. Put your lid on your blender and blend for 10 to 15 seconds. Place your batter in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. This allows the bubbles that have formed in the batter to go away. The bubbles cause an uneven crepe. We don't want that. We want our crepes to be perfect. So while you're waiting, cut up some berries for your breakfast crepe. You can cut up strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, pretty much anything you want. I'm cutting up strawberries right now. Today I'm using a non-stick pan. Earlier in the basic crepe video, you saw me use a stainless steel pan. Spray your non-stick pan with a little Pam. Turn your heat on to a medium-low temperature. Let your pan heat up for like 20 seconds. Then grab your batter and your ladle, and you're going to ladle some of that into your pan. Make sure to swirl the pan so it evenly coats the entire pan. And you'll get a good crepe. Now let that cook for 45 seconds to a minute. Now remember, this is your throwaway crepe, or the crepe that you use to test out your batter and your temperature. Now remember, if your heat is too hot, your crepe will burn, so you'll have a nice burned dark texture. If your heat's too low, then your crepe won't have any of that nice browning that we're looking for. So remember, that first crepe, you're going to decide which one it is. Now when I flip my crepe over, it looks as if my heat actually could be a little low. You can tell this because my sides are becoming slightly burned and my center is still kind of floppy. That means for my next crepe, I'm going to turn the heat up on my stove slightly. Once it's flipped over, go ahead and let it heat for 15 to 20 seconds so it finishes itself off. Readjust your heat and then continue making crepes. The nice thing about non-stick pans when making crepes is once you get the temperature right, you don't actually need to spray any of that non-stick cooking spray anymore onto your pan. You just simply dabble it into your pan, any of your batter, and then continue making a crepe, and it works out perfectly. Now I've zoomed the camera in a little closer because I want you to pay attention to the batter. You notice as it continues to cook, that little bubbles begin to form. You might have a little excess batter like I do here, but that's not going to be a problem. Look at all the bubbles that are forming. Now when you go to flip your crepe, it'll be perfectly browned. Finish it off for another 10 to 15 seconds and you have another perfect crepe. Remember those strawberries or berries we had cut up earlier? Now we're going to go grab them and we're going to fill the center of the crepe with our berries. To make things easier and less complicated, instead of using fresh whipped cream, we're going to take some Ready Whip. We're going to spray it right into the center of each crepe. And then we're going to fold that crepe in on itself. Decorate the crepe however you want, and then serve. You have delicious sweet crepes.